I'm Brian Pickowitz with LEA Professional, and I'm going to walk you through how to set up your LEA Cinema Digital Series directly to a Dolby CP950 processor. So first thing you're going to want to do is you want to go to leaprofessional.com. Up at the top, click on Products, then Cinema Digital Series, and go ahead and download this setup guide. Once you've downloaded, just take a couple minutes and get familiar with it. There's some good documentation in here, from documentation from Dolby themselves, some training videos if you're not familiar with the LEA products, but also this advanced IP scanner, which I'm going to have you download and use here in a couple steps. So once you've read through it, got familiar with it, next go ahead and set up your system. So what I have today is a system set up exactly like this. So I've got a Dolby CP950 and a CDS704. I've isolated the control network and the AES67 network. So one key thing to note to make the setup a bunch quicker, if your switch is configured for DHCP, where it's going to hand out IP addresses, that'll make your setup process a lot quicker. You can set static IPs, but for initial setup, DHCP makes the initial setup very quick prior to setting up static IPs. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through some of the steps. So first things first, if you look at the front of your Dolby processor, you'll have an IP address. So on the top right of the display screen, you'll see you have an IP address. So mine is 192.168.0.180. If you set a username and password, go ahead and enter that. And then just of note, this is the factory default settings of the Dolby CP950, with the exception of the only thing I did is I went ahead and configured my inputs so that we could see that we already have outputs applied. I've got audio passing through. This video itself is not going to walk you through each step of setting the Dolby processor up for your configuration, just setting up how to pass AES67 audio from the Dolby CP950 to the Cinema Digital Series. So if you look over here on the left-hand side, there's the system and then network. Go ahead and click on that. We'll be spending most of our time in this menu. So upon initial click, this is the control network of the Dolby CP950. As I stated earlier, I'm in DHCP mode. This is the IP address it handed out, but if you want to set a static IP, you can go ahead and do that now by clicking Manual. The other portion is this Dolby Atmos Connect. This is the AES67 network itself. Again, this is the factory default settings of the Dolby processor. One thing I did do is I clicked this advanced mode so that I could have discrete RTP destination UDP ports for channels 1 through 8. And 9 through 16. So if you didn't click this, you would see you just have one destination port. But I'd recommend clicking advanced mode. That way you have more resolution over multiple channels. Okay, so we're logged into our Dolby processor. Next thing you're going to want to do is download and open that IP scanner software that's in the setup guide. So once you've opened that, simply click on this IP, and then what that's going to do, that's automatically going to set your IP range for the computer that you're using, and click Scan. So all this software is doing is going out and scanning that IP range to show what all is on the network. So it's going to scan all of them, see what's out there, and then what you're going to look for under this manufacturer column is an IP address that says Merging Technologies. So there we go. And then either go ahead and write down or remember this. This is the AES67 port of the CDS series. So 192.168.0.169. So I'll go ahead and open up a browser. Type in that IP address, 192.168.0.169. And then you're going to want to put /advanced and click enter. Okay, now this is the AES67 configuration for your CDS series amplifier. So Under general settings, you can name the device whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and leave it as is. And then this is the step where, say you want to assign a static IP to the AES67 network of the CDS or not. I'm in DHCP, I'm going to leave it alone. However, if I did want to set static, just click the drop down, static, and then it'll let you configure a static IP for the AES67 side of the network. The next thing we're going to want to do is click on this PTP tab. So PTP is basically a priority in your network switch itself. So let's go ahead and walk through what we want to do here. So I'm going to put the CDS series right next to my Dolby processor. So for this PTP domain, you're going to want to make sure that this number 109 matches your PTP domain number in your Dolby processor, which it does. If it doesn't, just make sure those two are the same. This DSCP setting, that is your PTP setting in your switch itself. So not the Dolby processor, not the CDS. That is the protocol it uses to assign priority of PTP. So go ahead and log into your switch and make sure you have it. In my case, it's 46EF, which is the same in most cases. And then at this point, if your Dolby CP950 and the Cinema Digital Series AES67 networks, all the IP addresses match, PTP matches and everything, you'll see under the status, the GMID is actually the MAC address of the Dolby CP950 AES67 network. And then you can see I have a locked state. So that means the network configuration is proper on the Dolby side, it's matched up with the CDS side. So we can go ahead and move on to the next step. So the next step is you will click on the session syncs. Let me get rid of an old sync there. So when you click on session syncs, it'll be a blank screen. Go ahead and click on create session link here. That'll go ahead and give you here. Under label, go ahead and label it whatever you want. I'm just going to say Dolby. And then next to the source dropdown, you're going to want to click manual. That's going to open up this screen. Okay, so what you're going to want to do at this step is go back to the setup guide. So here we go. Go to page 7. And then what you're going to want to do is copy and paste this section right here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that, move that out of the way, go back into here and paste that in. Okay. Okay, so here's kind of the setup steps here. So the second line here, this IP4, you're going to want to copy this static source IP from the Dolby processor, remove all the X's, simply paste that in. Next on the fourth row here, where it says 239 dot a bunch of X's, you're going to want to go over here to the destination multicast IP, copy that from your Dolby processor, and go ahead and replace that IP there. Okay, so far so good. Then next thing is on the sixth row here for this clock domain, you're going to want to remove this X, and this is going to be your PTP domain number. So let me go ahead and copy 109, remove the X, type in 109. So we're good there. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is line 7 here. So we're going to want to go ahead and replace this RTP report destination. So if you go back to your Dolby processor, for this configuration, I'm looking for channels 1 through 8 that I want to assign. So that's 6517. Go ahead and copy that, and go ahead and remove and paste 6517 in there. So far so good, and we have one last step we're going to want to do. So that is this master grid and PTP domain. So for master GMID, you're going to want to go back to this PTP tab. This is your master GMID, so go ahead and copy this MAC address. Go back to session syncs, replace master GMID. You're going to want to go ahead and paste that in. And then you have a colon and an X. So the X is, again, this PTP domain number. So go ahead and copy and paste 109 in there. Okay, once you have this set up identically as your Dolby processor here to the left-hand side, let's go ahead and click Apply. And when I click Apply, I'm going to go full screen here. You can see that now I've got a session status connected. I'm receiving, and the interface 1 is doing good. So as long as all 3 of these here on the right are green, you're good to go. So next thing we're going to want to do is our routing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down here to this routing section here at the bottom. And I basically want to route output 1 to input 1, output 2 to input 2, output 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now that's routed the output of the Dolby processor to the input of AES67. Okay, so from an AES67 side, we're all good. We're passing audio and everything's good there. So next thing we're going to want to do is open up the web UI of the CDS series. So if you look on the front of the amplifier on the bottom line, there's an IP address. In my case, for my CDS series, it is, let's see here, 192.168.0.94. So I'll type that in here. Pulls up the web UI. As you can see, they start populating all the amps on the network. I'm going to click on my CDS. I went ahead and routed all my digitals, but basically factory default, you'll be analog 1, 2, 3, 4. So all you would do is simply select digital 1 for the channel you want for left, digital 2 for right, digital 3 for center, all configured in your Dolby processor. I'm not using digital 5, that's the LFE channel. I am using digital 6, so there you go. So I'm going to go ahead and put this to the right. I'll bring back my Dolby processor. Then if I go to, let's just say equalization here, go back here. You can see if I mute, everything goes away. If I unmute, we go there. So we're definitely communicating there. So with that said, we're at this point, we're all set up and ready to go. So that's the quick and easy way to set up your Dolby CP950 processor directly to Cinema Digital Series. If you got any questions, feel free to go to leaprofessional.com and reach out to us via the contact form. We also have tech support. You can email us at techsupport@leaprofessional.com, and hope you enjoy your new cinema experience.